Shalawama, Shalawama, I am Dr. Dryasapa. Welcome to live stream number 77. Welcome to live stream number 77. This is Astrotheology. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Islam to all the Moors, Shalawama to all of the House of Yasharallah and all of the other 15 families, all of the other 15 nations. We're about to get started, and I would like for you to call, text, contact somebody and tell them we're about to get started, y'all. All right, this live stream, we're going to visualize four stars. And if you remember live stream number 75 and 76, you should have a good idea about what these four stars that we're going to visualize relate to. All right. And if you were thinking the Gospels, you are exactly correct. These four stars that we're about to visualize relate to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You got it right. Congratulations, scholars. All right, so as you all know, I need to reset the settings, okay? So as I do that, y'all call somebody, let them know we are about to begin, okay? Call somebody, let them know that we're about to begin. I'm doing the settings right now. Y'all might have noticed I'm getting faster with this. So maybe this is not such a bad thing, you know, because it's forcing me with all of this repetition. I'm getting good and fast at this. So that's a nice judo move, right? Real good judo move. We are unstoppable, Moors. We are unstoppable. No matter what happens with our live streams or in our personal lives, we don't give up. We get smarter. We change, we adapt. We keep moving forward, right? Even failing forward is success, right? Failing forward is success. Failing is part of succeeding. Failing is part of succeeding as long as you keep moving forward, learning, adjusting, and then more learning and more adjusting, which is what we're doing. All right, not just me, but many of us. All right, many of us. So I'm almost done, y'all. That was fast, wasn't it? I'm almost done. Can you believe that? All right. So call somebody, let them know we are here. Call somebody, let them know we are here and we are about to begin. All right. This is Astrotheology. Today we're going to visualize Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the alleged gospel writers. We're going to visualize them in the sky. All right. You all will remember that the gospels are associated with beasts. We went over those. What those beasts are: the eagle, the bull, the bull, the lion. The lion, y'all remember the lion's heart? We discussed that yesterday, if I remember that. I should say live stream number 75. We discussed that in live stream number 75. All right, so we're gonna get into greater detail by visualizing the stars that the Gospels represent. All right, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Hopefully we can find all of them, right? Hopefully we can find all of them. Give me a moment. Let me check our live stream to make sure we have a live stream. All right, I got to check it. Because if y'all have been following with me from the beginning, if you've been following with me from the beginning, you'll know that Something always happens with our live stream. And I told y'all we're on 5G here in India, where I'm at least. All right, so we have a stream. All right. So remember, call somebody. I need your help. I can't do this by myself. Y'all know that YouTube is not going to push this video for sure. So I need you all to do that for me. All right. I need your participation in making these live streams successful, not only content wise, by putting your comments and questions and even answers to questions. For those of you who are competent enough to do so, you know who you are. So I really need that in order to make this video high quality as possible. All right. And then I also need those of you who are here to contact your friends and families. All right. And let them know, tell them to come join us. Okay. That activates the YouTube algorithm for distribution purposes. But the most important thing is what? Is that your friends and family get this information. All right. So this is critical information for our people, because as I always say, at every time, that our people cannot change until they change their mindset. Cannot change until they change their mindset. So what am I saying? They can be a Christian Negro, a Hebrew Israelite Negro, a Moor wearing a fez Negro, because the mindset has not changed, right? Their mindset has not changed. They've acquired some knowledge, but there's still that Negro in the brain. And it's my assertion that that Negro in the brain is a result of what? Their religious belief system. Their religious belief system. All right, but that's a whole other question, a whole other discussion rather, on just how that works. But it is the religious values that makes that Negro a Negro, all right? Or that Black a Black, right? It is their value system that they got from their, or lack thereof, I should say, that they got from their religious belief system. All right, y'all, I got the settings set, okay? Excuse me. So give me 1 second, let me get things together here, and then we'll get started. So welcome, first and foremost, to everybody who's been coming regularly, especially those who've been coming here from the beginning, and of that group, especially those of you who have been holding it down in the chat for me. I can't say thank you enough for doing that. I really, really appreciate it. We need it. The people who are going to watch this video today and in the future, they especially need it, right? They will need it because most people don't have a clue about what we're dealing with here. They don't have a clue. All right, so those holding it down in the chat, for me, it is extremely helpful and valuable to all of the listeners. So thank you in advance. All right, so text somebody, call somebody, let them know we are here. And me, myself, I can't wait to identify these stars that represent the beast that represent each of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So only a short review, and we'll begin right now. Wait a minute, I gotta pull up the PDF. I forgot to pull up the PDF. I've been doing all of this other stuff, y'all. I forgot to pull up the PDF. So y'all do that for me, okay? Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. That ain't right. I'm putting in the work, all right? You're getting free access. Free access. I'm giving you free access. Here's why you should do it. Here's why you should call your family member, your friends, your colleagues, your associates, all right? Your boys, your homies, your girls. Here's why. This information that you are learning in these astrotheology videos, they are rare and they give you a proper education on the New Testament. Anytime you look at Christian art, Christian architecture like a church or cathedral, it is full of astronomical references. All right, it's everywhere, y'all, everywhere. The only issue is whether or not you see it. The only issue is whether or not you see it. Okay, everything from the stained glass windows to the image of the Last Supper. Did y'all know that the image of the Last Supper, one of the apostles is a woman, possibly two, but one definitely is a woman, all right? The constellation Virgo is a woman, okay? The 12 apostles represent the 12 constellations, the 12 zodiac signs. Those 12 apostles are organized in groups of 3, representing 4 seasons of the year. 4 seasons of the year. The wine glass represents the cup of salvation, which is a constellation. The wine in the glass represents what? The blood of Christ, the blood of the grape harvest, the wine, the blood of the grape harvest, the deity whose name is spelled Bacchus, and his love for partying and orgies, so on and so. There's so much going on in that image, okay? The statues in these cathedrals that the author has told us were from what? Constructed in ancient times by Moors, according to what? According to astrological phenomena. All right, so there's so much happening that if you are not aware of this, and what I just told you, that's just the surface, right? That's just the surface. That doesn't have anything to do, well, it has to do, let me say that there's much more that impacts your life directly because it has you calling on foreign or external deities in violation of natural law, which is the first commandment. Don't bring any powers before my face, all right? Don't bring any other GODs, or let me repeat that, don't bring any GOD before my face. The Most High is not a GOD. Do not bring a deity before my face, all right? That puts you in conflict with that. All right, so that's the problem with that. Anyway, all of us, every Yasharala man or woman needs to be educated on astrotheology, not to change your religion, not to change your beliefs. That's not the point. The point is education, so that you can have a real education and a real knowledge of what the New Testament is and what these references to astrotheology are. And then you can make an informed and intelligent decision as to what's real, what's true, and what is not. And you can make a conscious decision as to what you're going to accept as true and believe on your own. Whereas now, almost all people are in the religion that their parents were in. All right, so let me stop talking. I found what I need to find. Let me check our live stream one more time. All right, oh, I remember. So I was telling y'all why, why I can ask you, even demand of you. Yes, even demand of you, why I can demand, I can ask or demand, whichever one you want, okay? Ask or demand you to call your family, friends, associates, and tell them to come to this live stream. All right, now just gave y'all that bit. Here's the other reason. Because this education I'm giving you is free. It's free. We don't know if YouTube is going to take these videos down or shut this channel down tomorrow, tonight, next week. We don't know. But right now, they can get the information. All right. This is our 77th live stream. So if they have never been here before, there's 76 live streams in the whole. They're over 100, probably over 120 and 130 hours in the whole that they would need to start right from live stream number 1 all the way up until live stream number 77. How long is that going to take them? How long is that going to take them? All right. But here's the point I really want to make. This is free and available to you now, today. Free and available to you now, today. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Neither you nor I might not be here tomorrow. And these videos, y'all know how YouTube is. These videos definitely might not be here tomorrow. All right. And then what else? What else? I'm giving you free access to the decades, that's plural, decades of formal education that I have in science and business and my experience. I'm giving you free access to that. Decades, which amounts to several $100,000, several $100,000 that I have invested in my formal education that you are getting access to for free, and my experience in life, my triumphs, my joys, my pleasures, my pains, my discouragement, my failures, my sufferings, and my rebounds, my resilience. I'm giving you access to all of this for free. That's why, in my mind, I can legitimately ask you and expect that you follow through. I can legitimately ask you to contact your family and your friends and tell them we're doing this live stream. And here's another point that I didn't mention. I am the man who is writing all of the Ibaryath, the ancient Ibaryath literature that I know of. All right. I'm the man who's putting out the I Can Read Deuteronomy chapter 28 word for word examination and breakdown of Deuteronomy chapter 28. The same thing with the 10 Commandments. All right. So I believe that I can ask you to do these things because I am giving you much more. In fact, 1,000,000 times more than what I'm asking of you, which is simply to contact somebody. Anyway, let me get off of that. Let's get into our lesson, our live stream rather. I think y'all know where I'm coming from. If I have offended you, it's not intended, but if you want a one-way relationship where I give and you take, this is not the place for you, you should go. I don't deal with people like that. Not at this point in my life, all right? If you are offended and you think I'm out of place by asking you to contact other people, giving you my reasons why, then you should leave, and I invite you to leave now, all right? This is not the place for you. This is the place for scholars who share their knowledge, their information, and their experience, and who are here to learn and not necessarily make friends, all right? This is not a religious thing. So here we go, y'all, here we go. All right, here we go. We're going to begin our review on page 328. Let me make sure we got the live stream. All right, we're still streaming, all right? So here we go, y'all, here we go. So I'm gonna begin here just as a summary, all right? Just as a summary, this paragraph here, all right? So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are names never found in the language of any Jewish nation upon earth, but betraying in their derivation. See, here's a reference now to etymology, their derivation, those words that they evolved from or were created from, or their mother word. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are never found in the language of any Jewish nation upon earth, but betraying in their derivation, but showing in their etymological meanings, that's what he's saying, the most accurate description of the four royal stars. So scholars, you Moors, all 16 nations of you, Genesis chapter 10. I cannot, and others who have been doing this much, much longer than me, cannot stress enough the importance of learning the science of linguistics. The science of linguistics. Language is, guess what, y'all? Language is a science. It must be mastered. Language must be mastered. On the Ibaryath side, I'm providing the online streaming 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. The link is in the video, in the description area of this video, and also the 506, the curses course, Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're doing that Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You should come, you should subscribe to that 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, and you should come on Saturday, 10 a.m. That Saturday class is free. You can come twice for free. It's going to be a total of at the minimum, it'll be a total of 4 hours. At the most, that would be two hours each class. At the most, it might be as much as 8 hours total for each class, right? Or more, it just depends. Sometimes I let people go further, just depends on the situation. But the point is, come in and learn. Come learn, it's free. All right. Let's continue with our review. Let's continue with our review. So the author here in that paragraph says, hey, you need to learn Ibaryath, right? I'm putting that in my own words. You need to learn etymology, all right? So you can look and see what these words really mean. This is the tool that the author is using. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they are names never found in the language of any nation, a Jewish nation upon earth, but betraying in their derivation, but their etymology or their etymological meanings show that they derive the most accurate description, or that they show the most accurate description of the four royal stars. Y'all got that? The four royal stars. Let me highlight that for y'all. So these four royal stars are we're about to focus our attention on, okay? We're going to visualize what we can. So here we go, Regulus. All right, so I hope you printed the PDF. If you have not printed this PDF, go back and print the PDF. Well, not now, of course, but I mean, download the PDF, all right, y'all. Download the PDF, and then when you get free time, be sure to print it, all right, so that we can do what I'm about to do right now. So y'all see here's Regulus, all right? So let's see what images we're going to look at. I'm going to scroll through here first. Here's Regulus. We see images of Regulus, right? I want to focus on this one. All right, so unfortunately, this one cannot zoom in. So I'm going to show this image while I continue with the paragraph. Regulus, which is Saint Matthew or Cor Leonis, the heart of the lion, which the sun enters about the 2nd day of July, and leaves about the 23rd of August, when the earth begins to give her fruits. That's the glorious harvest, right? The climactic season of every year, or the climactic event of every year, that all other events of the year have been put in place for. The harvest is the climax. All right. The harvest is the climax. Regulus, which is Saint Mathew or Cor Lioness, the heart of the lion, which the sun sun enters. The sun enters, Regulus over here, all right, which the sun enters about the 2nd day of July and leaves about the 23rd day of August, when the earth begins to give her fruits, that is the harvest. And thence this star, that is Regulus, gets the name of Saint Mathew. That's 2 words. Mathew. Regulus takes the name of Saint Mathew, which is most literally, listen to this, y'all, the sun sun, the gift, the sun sun, the gift, the capital God, the most expressive designation of the sun sun's bounty and of the heat of that season. The sun's bounty is, of course, the harvest. And here is Mathew, not only with his lion, but in his lion, the very heart of the lion. And here is the beast and the throne of capital God. And see if he is not full of eyes before and behind. He has got an eye in his tail. He has got an eye in his tail, Deneb, and the eye within him, which is his heart itself. And these eyes never sleep. They rest not. They rest not day. They rest not day nor night. That was the first. So now let's go back and take a look at where the author was getting this information. All right. So we're going to go back. He was quoting from Revelation, right? So we're on page 327. All right. So we need to take a look at this. Oh, better yet, let's start here. Let's start here. Page 326. All right. Start 326. Y'all call people and tell them we are live with Astrotheology. Call them, text them, get active in the chat, in the comment section. I don't see any comments, y'all. Put some comments in here. Let's get going. All right, let's get going. Let's get going. Let's make this a most amazing, a most phenomenal live stream. All right. In fact, let's not do it for us, but let's do it for the people who don't know anything about this topic. Put yourself in the teacher educator role. All right. That's what I should have said. Put yourself in the educator role and be active in the comment section. All right. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. All right. Page 326. I should be seeing comments, y'all. All right, here we go. At the bottom of the page where the highlight is. And if it is to be urged that light is only to use to those who have eyes to see with, why then the more eyes anything has, the more light it must want. Now, the 4 evangelists labored under the misfortune of having but one single pair of eyes apiece, and those little better than buried alive in their foreheads. But now we're going to page 327, y'all, top of page 327, okay? We're establishing, we're moving toward Revelation, okay? You'll see the connection. But the 4 beasts with whom they are invariably attended are described in the 4th book of Revelations as being full of eyes. Y'all see that? Being full of eyes before and behind, so that they could see their tails, so that they could see their tails. And not only were they full of eyes before and behind, but it added, they were full of eyes within. Eyes within, that's the lion's heart. Eyes within, that is the lion's heart. And the lion's tail is the knob, the knob. Okay, let's continue with our correlations. A most wonderful provision that against their catching the cholera morbus, for the moment they felt that they didn't know how, they had only to look at their own stripes to see what was the matter with them. The point is that he's talking about seeing eyes. Now, let's go to the next paragraph. That they are the very same beast as those which ever accompanied the 4 evangelists, is defined in the sacred text with the accuracy of natural history. Quote, the first beast, says the holy apostle, quote, was like a lion. The first beast was like a lion. Regulus, which is Saint Matthew's, or Cor Leonis, the heart of the lion, which the SUN sun enters about the 2nd of July and leaves about the 23rd of August rather. The sun enters it the 2nd day of July and leaves it around the 23rd of August, when the sun begins to give her fruits, that is the harvest, okay? Hence the star Regulus gets the name of Saint Mathew, that's 2 words, Saint Mathew, which is most literally the SUN sun, the gift, the capital G-O-D. All right, now let's continue. So now that's coming from Revelation chapter 4, verse 7. The first beast, says the holy apostle, was like a lion, and the second beast was like a calf. All right, so we're going to stop right there. That's again Revelation 4:7. Let's go back to page 328. Page 328. All right, y'all. Page 328. Here we are. Here we are. We are here. We are here. Okay. Formohot. Formohot. In the fish's mouth, Jonah. In the whale's belly. Fomohot. In the fish's mouth, Jonah. In the whale's belly, swallowing the water which is effused from the urn of the Aquarius of January. That's Aquarius, the water bearer, is Saint Mark. Formohot is Saint Mark. Formohot in the fish's mouth, Jonah in the whale's belly, swallowing the water which is effused from the urn of the Aquarius of January, is Saint Mark. So now let's visualize Formohot. Let's take a look at this star, all right? So give me 1 second and I'll pull it up. We're gonna make it do what it do, y'all. We're gonna make it do what it do. Formohot. I hope you are enjoying this presentation so far. I always like, my favorite part is when we get to look at the stars or the constellation. That's my favorite part, especially when we have things to figure out. You know, I like to figure things out. Okay, so let's see. Oh, is it 4? All right, so he's spelling it differently than they're spelling it. He spells it F-O-R, they're spelling it, it looks like F-O, Formohot. All right, so let's see. Let's see, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Y'all see what that looked like. I'm not gonna say it, but y'all see what that looked like. So let's see, where is Formohot? Ah, here we go. Everybody see that? Here is Fomalhaut. Y'all see it? And here is Pisces. So I guess this is the reference to the fish. And this is Aquarius, the water bearer of January. Aquarius, the water bearer of January. Fomalhaut here, and then Regulus here. Oh, I like this. I like this image. Everybody see that? Everybody see that? All right. I need y'all to be active in the comment section, okay, y'all? And let me just say thanks again to for those people who are, y'all know who you are, who regularly hold it down in the comments. Y'all see how important it is. Not everybody is willing or even able to make it happen in the comment section. All right. So those of you who do, I really, really appreciate, really appreciate it. You know, the giving and willing to share your knowledge. All right. Really appreciate that. A lot of people will not share what they know. They want to have the ups on everybody, right? They want to know more than everybody. So I really appreciate you all. And I value it, because when we look, when the people who are holding it down in the comment sections are not here, the comments are not flowing. So you can kind of see something about the people, right? But anyway, let's continue, y'all. So we were looking at Fomalhaut. Let me go back to that. This is a really good image. I really appreciate this image. Again, here is, follow the cursor, here is Fomalhaut. All right, Pisces, Pisces, or I'm sorry, not Pisces, yeah, that's Pisces, okay. Aquarius pouring water into the fish's mouth. Aquarius pouring water into the fish's mouth. Aquarius, the water bearer, pouring water into the fish's mouth. And then we have Regulus. This is a side point, right? So it said that women carried water in the ancient cultures. Women carried water in the ancient cultures. Do y'all agree that that suggests, I'm not saying that it means, I'm saying it suggests that Aquarius is probably a woman, because Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius is carrying water, right? Life-giving water. Aquarius is carrying life-giving water. And if it's true that in the ancient cultures that only women carried water, so as it is above, so below, would that mean, or does it give us something to think about? So is Aquarius, in this case, to be imagined as a man, or a womb man, womb as in pregnancy, carrying water? Just something to think about, y'all, something to think about. So again, we see Fomalhaut, we see Aquarius, we see Pisces, we see Regulus. All right. Anyway, so let's go back to the PDF. Just something to think about. That's something that I think about sometimes, right? I wonder. But if Aquarius is, let's say, to be imagined as a woman, then that means there would be two women. It would be two women in the famous painting, The Last Supper. There would be two women. If that's true, I don't know. It's just something to think about. All right, so let's get back to the text. All right, so we covered Fomalhaut is Saint Mark. Next paragraph. The word Marcus literally signifies the polite or shining one. The word Marcus literally signifies the polite or shining one. The most beautiful definition you could invent for the shining Fumohot, who is the only one of the four whose accompanying genius is a human being. Y'all got that? The word Marcus literally signifying the polite or shining one, the most beautiful definition you could invent for the shining Fumohot, who is the only one of the four evangelists of the four stars whose accompanying genius is a human being. So the polite or shining one, that is Marcus, is a human being, okay? Marcus being believed to have composed his gospel under the dictation of Saint Peter. And here, sirs, is Peter pouring it forth and Mark swallowing it as fast as he can, as fast as he can swallow. And I need not tell you that there's a good deal for him to swallow. All right, so Peter was pouring forth the gospel story, and Mark was swallowing it, meaning he was writing it. All right, so Fumohot in the fish's mouth, Jonah in the whale's belly, swallowing the water, which is effused from the urn of Aquarius in January, is the Saint Mark. The word Marcus or Marcus, literally signifying the polite or shining one, the most beautiful definition you could invent for the shining Fumohot, who is the only one of the four, that is the four evangelists, the four stars, the four beasts, the four apostles who wrote the gospel, allegedly, because they're all the gospel according to, all right, who is the only one of the four whose accompanying genius is a human. Saint Mark or Marcus being believed to have composed his gospel under the dictation of Saint Peter. And here, sirs, is Peter pouring it forth. As a matter of fact, I wanna show that. And here is Saint Peter pouring it forth. And here is Aquarius pouring it forth. And Fumohot or Saint Marcus, the polite shining one, swallowing it all as he writes it on the page. Everybody see that? So now here is Aquarius, the water bearer, pouring it forth. Here is Aquarius. Here is his urn full of water, and he's pouring forth what? Life-giving waters. And here is Fumohot. Y'all see the fish? Y'all see the fish? I like this picture even better. Let's let that load up. And here is Fumohot, this bright star. The fish, y'all see the fish? Here is Fumohot, the fish swallowing the water. Saint Mark, Fumohot swallowing the water that Peter is pouring into his mouth as he writes the gospel according to Mark. Everybody see that? So here is Aquarius, here is his urn full of water, pouring life-giving water, living water into the mouth of Saint Mark, who is Fumohot, this big bright star right here of the fish. And then the fish or Fumohot is swallowing, Saint Mark is swallowing this life-giving water as he writes the gospel as dictated to him by Peter. In this case, Peter is pouring it forth. All right, if I see that, I'm gonna leave that on the page, on the screen rather. Okay, so let's continue, y'all, let's continue. Aldebaran. So we're moving to Aldebaran. All right. We're going to visualize our next evangelist. Our next evangelist is Aldebaran. So Aldebaran. So let's get the visual. All right, Aldebaran, where are you? Let's get you up. Aldebaran, you are up. Okay, so here's an image. Let's see, Aldebaran, starlight essence, okay? So that's not giving us really any orientation. Okay, so I'm looking for images that show orientation. Something shows Aldebaran in relation to other stars. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Or other constellations, rather. All right, there we go. Okay, scholars, so here we are. Here we are. Okay, so here is Aldebaran. Here is Aldebaran. Here is Pleiades. Here is Pleiades in the night sky. Pleiades. So let's see what else we can find. What else can we see about Aldebaran? Ah, okay, so here we are. This is what I really wanted. Okay, here is Orion's belt. Here's Orion's belt. Here is Orion's belt, and here is what? Aldebaran. Aldebaran. So the key to locate Aldebaran is to identify Orion's belt. And then once you find Orion's belt, you can find, once you find Orion's belt, you can find Aldebaran. It'll be somewhere in the area of Taurus, all right? So well, I'm curious. Let's see if we can find something even better. Y'all see how visualizing these stars helps with learning tremendously? Okay, now this is even better. So now here's Orion's belt. Everybody see Orion's belt right here. Here's Jupiter, follow the cursor, Jupiter, Venus, and then Aldebaran here, and then Pleiades, and then Pleiades. Now, so what are we looking at? If we did not know these constellations, this is in review, scholars. If we did not know these constellations and stars, when we look into the sky, it looks like a what? A wilderness, a starry wilderness. But once you know which stars to connect to make the constellations, now it's no longer a wilderness, right? Now it is no longer a wilderness, and you can do what? You can survive and thrive on Earth because you know what? You know times and seasons, and you know when to do what, and you know what's coming. Okay, I'm talking about the physical aspects of being able to eat, keep yourself warm, protect yourself from animals, knowing the length of daylight hours, knowing the length of nighttime hours and when they shift, so on, and the season, so on and so forth. But we don't need to go into that. All right, so let's continue into our reading. Or better yet, I want to go back and keep that visual up. So y'all, if y'all haven't printed the PDF, the free PDF is in the description area of this video. Be sure to download the free PDF of the Devil's Pulpit and then go print it, y'all. Go and print it, okay? All right, let's continue. We're on page 328. Aldebaran is the bullseye. The unequivocal El-Iman, both of the name and symbol of Saint Luke with his bull. Aldebaran is the bull's eye. Aldebaran is the bull's eye. Aldebaran is the bull's eye, the unequivocal El-Iman, both of the name and symbol of Saint Luke with his bull, right? The bull is the beast representing Saint Luke, as we discussed in live stream number 76. The word Luke literally signifying the luminous, the very term then which you could find no other to express the magnitude. Let me repeat that. The word Luke literally signifying the luminous, the very term then which you could find no other to express the magnificent red looking star which you see a little above and westward of Orion. So here's Orion. So Orion must be eastward, and then Aldebaran is westward of Orion. All right. So Orion must be more east, so moving west and upward, we see the red star Aldebaran. So now let's take a look if we can find it color red, Aldebaran. Let's see. All right, here we go. So here is our red star Aldebaran. Is that Aldebaran? Yes. Here's our red star Aldebaran. Everybody see that? All right. So Aldebaran is a red star. Okay. So Orion moving westward and up, we see Aldebaran, which is a red star. Where are you? Here it is. Aldebaran is a red star. All right. So this luminous, magnificent, red-looking star, which you see a little above and westward of Orion. A little above and westward of Orion. Everybody see that? Excellent, 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 scholars. Good. Okay, let's continue. In which you have never looked at the stars in your lives, nor, I guess, at anything else if you have not seen, in which the sun sun is directly upon about the 28th day of May. So the sun is right near Aldebaran on the 28th day of May. So when I say sun, I mean the sun sun. The sun sun on the 28th day of May, thereabout, you'll find the sun sun every year on the 28th of May, right here near Aldebaran, okay? Westward and up of Orion's belt. Westward and up of Orion's belt on May 28th, you'll see the sun sun right by the red star Aldebaran, all right? The sun is gonna be somewhere in here. All right, so let's go back to the Devil's Pulpit. Again, download the PDF. It's free. It's in the description area of this video. Download it, download it, download it. When you get time, print it. So now we're going to go to Antares. Antares. Oops. All right. So next star we'll visualize is Antares. All right, but before we do that, if you haven't ordered 911 Ancient Ibaryath, 911 Ibaryath Rescue, Ancient Phoenician Paleo Hebrew, the international edition, if you haven't ordered this book yet, and I've been showing this book probably almost all of the live streams, I want to invite you to go order this book now. This is going to help you to learn Ancient Ibaryath. This is our ancient language, the language that the Hebrew Bible or scriptures were written in. All right, so this is what I do for a living. I write and I teach Ancient Ibaryath, how to render, how to translate, how to read, everything else, all right? So I do that in the context of the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. This is our streaming course, okay? Thanks to everybody who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. This is where you're going to get your linguistic skills. This is where you're going to get your linguistic skills, especially etymology, morphology, that is how words are made, grammar, parts of speech, and all of that good stuff. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. And if you have subscribed or purchased 911 Ibaryath Rescue, I want to say thank you. All right, let's get back to our live stream presentation. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to have to do it again. Oh no, here we are. Here we are. Y'all still with me? Y'all riding with me? Let me know if y'all with me, okay? Let me know if y'all still riding with me. All right, so be sure to like and share the video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Okay, so we are dealing with the star Antares. Antares right now. And here is Antares. Here is Antares. Okay, here is Antares. So we need to find its relation to other stars or constellations, right? We need to find them so that we can know where we is in the celestial globe, all right? So let's see, what are we looking at here? What's this, y'all? It looks busy, doesn't it? What is this? Ah, here's Antares. All right, okay, so I don't, it's not a good one. For our purposes, this is not a good one. Let's see. Where are we? What's this, y'all? Okay. So let's continue. I'll search a little bit more and then I'll begin reading. All right. So here's Antares. This is probably it. Yeah, this is it, y'all. This is Antares. All right, so here's Antares. Everybody see that? Here's the star we're looking for, Antares. So here is Mars. Here's Mars, Antares, and the moon. All right, so now let's continue reading. Antares in the Scorpion, Antares in the Scorpion constellation, which is the SUN sun, is directly upon, oops, let me read that again. Antares in the Scorpion, which the SUN sun is directly upon on the 29th of November. So the sun is directly upon Antares on the 29th of November. This is St. John. Antares is St. John on the 29th of November of each year. All right. That I, the one, own the being, as the fire, this being the brightest of them all, the disciple which JC the Christ figure loved, Q-less Romanes, Appellian, Pericilion. Let me show that. All right, for those of you who don't have the PDF, this is why I would really, I highly recommend you all print the PDFs so you can follow along as we visualize. There it is, okay? There it is. I'll read it again. Antares in Scorpion, which is the SUN sun, which the SUN sun is directly upon on the 29th of November, is St. John, that I, the one, own the being, as the fire. This is the beloved, brightest of them all. This being the brightest, rather, of them all, the disciple which JC the Christ figure loved, Quo-less Romanes, Appellant, Pericilion. All right, so we're going to go to page 329. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. The color, the apparent size, the geometrical figures, which these four stars of the first magnitude presented to the eyes of the first observers of nature. So he's going back very, very long, right? Y'all remember the quote of Noble Drew Ali. He says, there never was a time when man was not. The color, the apparent sizes, the geometrical figures which these four stars of the first magnitude presented to the eyes of the first observers of nature, and would present to us still, had not our Christian priest in a moral sense, put out the eyes of the people. Now, Zion scholars, Zion Law School scholars, your alarm bell should be going off, right? By that key word, moral. In a moral, so this is inside information, y'all. This is for Zion Law School scholars. So I want you to take this as a piece of evidence that we've had on this matter. And you can see it not just coming from me, all right? In a moral sense, put out the eyes of the people, but above all, their neighborhood to the equinoctial and the solstice or the solstitial points, cause them to be marked as fixed points from which to measure and determine the progressive march of the sun sun, of the moon, and the 5 and other movable stars or planets, and consequently of the time of the year, of the seasons, and in necessary association of the progress of vegetation, of heat and cold, of winds and tempest, and thus entirely of all the phenomena of nature. Y'all got that? Entirely of all. All literally means all. That means the whole, all right? 100%. And thus the entirety of all the phenomena of nature to be developed in the revolution of the acceptable year of the capital LORD. Y'all got that? Everybody got that? I'm gonna read that again because that was this is a lot contained in one paragraph. All right, let's go back and visualize our star again. This is Antares. Antares here again, Antares. We see that this is the moon. I'm sorry, this is Mars, and this is the moon. We're dealing with Antares. All right, Antares in the constellation Scorpion, which is the sun sun, or which the sun sun is directly upon. The sun is directly upon Antares on the 29th of November of each year. This, my friend, is St. John. All right, now let's go back into the paragraph as we look at the image. The color, the apparent size, the geometrical figures, which these 4 stars of the first magnitude presented to the eyes of the first observers of nature. Remember, there never was a time when man was not, and would present to us still, had not our Christian priest in a moral sense put the eyes out of the people. In a moral sense, put the eyes out of the people. You can't see, right? You got no eyes. But above all, their neighborhood to the equinoctial and celestial points. So whose relation to the equinoctial? Let's visualize that so you all can see what he's talking about. These are key points. These are key points, all right? Key points in the celestial globe. These are key points. So we need to take a look at them, okay? So you can know, so we can have orientation. Let's get oriented. All right. We would get something like this. Let's go to Google. All right, Google. Same thing. Why is it happening like that? All right. Here we go. Here's something. I want something like that. So let's take a look. Can we increase that? Okay, so we're talking about the 4 stars that we just went over. Antares, Aldebaran, Fomalhaut, and Regulus. All right. Now here is the vernal equinox. This is the spring. This is the vernal equinox. This is spring. Okay. Okay, so this is not what I want. This doesn't have all of the points. Okay, so we'll find something else. Don't worry. We'll find something else. Right, we will find, okay, so what's going on? Why we don't see something better? All right, y'all. Usually these just pop right up. Usually I don't get these. Usually I get it. Let me, okay, I'll do a different search term. If I do this, I know what's going to come up. What's happening? All right. Okay, y'all. Search terms are not giving me the same info that they usually give me when I do them, but we'll make do. We'll figure it out, right? We are unstoppable. All right, we are unstoppable. Always remember that. Okay, so I guess we need to change our search term. If we don't find it, I got one. So don't worry, I have some downloaded. So don't worry. If we don't see them here, I'll just pull it up. This is quite interesting how these things are not showing up. Usually there is no problem. Okay, so let's see what we have here. No. Very interesting. All right, y'all. Let me just take a look at these on my hard drive. Give me 1 second. I gotta go into my hard drive and open one up. Give me 1 second, all right? I'll be right with y'all. To go into my hard drive and open up one of these files. I have them, don't worry. Even though there's no search result coming back, I still have some on my hard drive. So we're still in business, y'all. Don't worry about it. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. All right. So give me one moment. I'll have them up in a second. Open up the file. I'm searching for them, y'all. One minute. Who would think that this would be such a trip, right? Right, I'm still searching. Give me 1 second. I know I got them because I downloaded them. So let's see if this is it. Let's see if I got one, y'all. Just gotta let them open up. So give me 1 second. Y'all like and share the video, okay? Like and share the video. I'm putting the work in. I deserve some positive feedback, some positive results. Keep me motivated, y'all. Keep me motivated. I deserve it. I can tell you that. I'm putting the work in. All right. And the people need this information. All right. So don't sit there and just learn and enjoy and take. All right. Do your part to make this great. Okay. Do your part to make this great. Okay, so I'm looking at a bunch of images. I'm still trying to get the ones that I want you all to see. All right. So I got to go through all of this stuff. No, that's not it either. Ay, 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 ay. What in the world? Okay. Why is it happening like this? This is incredible. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. I know what to do. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get it like that. All right, y'all. Just be patient with me. Where is? All right. So I Google search celestial solstice. Let's see if we get it this way. Okay, all right. So here we see the solstices. So there's a winter sol, but this is not, the orientation is not good. Let me continue trying searching for a proper one. Here we go. There are better illustrations than this, y'all. But for the sake of time, we're going to work with this, okay? So here's a summer solstice. Here is the winter solstice. So this is 1 point. This is the 2nd point. All right, here's the vernal equinox. Y'all see it? So vernal equinox, autumn equinox. So these are the 4 points that the author is talking about. The summer solstice, the winter solstice, the vernal equinox, the autumn equinox. Summer solstice, this is the zenith, this is the Christ. This is the Christ. This is the highest point that the sun will achieve throughout the course of a year. This is the ecliptic is the sun's orbit, okay? The winter solstice, this is the lowest point the sun will achieve during the course of the year. This happens somewhere around December 21st or 22nd, all right? December 21st or 22nd. The sun is at its lowest point. This is Satan, the devil, the opposer of the Christ, opposite ends of the line, opposite ends of a line, opposite opposer, adversary, Satan, the devil. Because space has no bottom, according to these people, this is the bottomless pit. This is hell, the bottomless pit. This is autumn, the autumn equinox. Okay, this is happening in the fall. This is the harvest. The vernal equinox is the spring. Okay, so we need to know, our ancestors needed to know each of these points, right? To determine the times and the seasons, when to do what. All right, so now let's go back to the author's writing. The author writes, where am I? Let me find my page here. Okay, so here, I'll start here. I'm not going to show the PDF, okay? I'm not going to show the PDF. I'll just begin reading. I'm on the first paragraph on page 329, about midway down. It reads, but above all, their neighborhood to the equinoctial and solstitial points, these points we just looked at and discussed, caused them to be marked, that is the 4 stars, the 4 evangelists, Antares, Aldebaran, Fomalhaut, and Regulus, okay, caused them to be marked as fixed points from which to measure and determine the progressive march of the sun, sun, of the moon, and the 5 other movable stars or planets. Y'all got that? So that is the function of the 4 evangelists, the 4 stars, the 4 beasts, Regulus, Fomalhaut, Aldebaran, and Antares. That is their function. Again, their function is what? Their function is what? They mark as fixed points from which to measure and determine the progressive march of the sun, sun, of the moon, and the 5 other movable stars and planets, and consequently Moors, all 16 nations, and consequently of the time of the year, of the seasons, and in necessary association of the progress of vegetation. That means from the time you plant that seed in the vernal equinox, you move through winter so that the seed can receive the sunlight, and you move into the autumn equinox where that seed has already become a plant and is in full blossom and ready for the harvest. The progress of vegetation, of heat, of heat and cold, going to summer, going into fall, going into the beginning of winter, deep winter in December, around December 21st, 22nd, coming out of winter into spring in March, around March 21, right? Okay. They would know this by what? By what? These marks or stars, Regulus, Fomalhaut, Aldebaran, and Antares. All right. That's the key. That's the key, Moors. All right, now let's continue. Let's continue. The progress of vegetation, of heat and cold, of winds and tempests, the winds and tempests created when the, remember we had that live stream on the sun being what? Clarified, meaning that the cloudy skies of winter time would clear, and now you see the blue sky, and you see the sun clearly, and the sun's rays beaming down, reflecting off of the reflecting surface, or those reflective surfaces on the earth, heating up the atmosphere. And when the cold and the hot air comes into contact with each other, it causes winds. Winds, the holy gust, the holy gust, the holy G-U-S-T, the holy gust, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Ghost, that breath of air, that breath of wind, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Gust, to track the progression of vegetation, of heat and cold, of winds and tempests, and thus entirely of all phenomena of nature, to be developed in the revolution of, quote, the acceptable year of the capital L-O-R-D. Understood, understood, understood. All right, excellence. You guys are doing a great job. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, so we are on page 329. And I don't know how long we've been going, scholars, but I think it's been more than an hour and a half. So we will resume tomorrow with this live presentation. Shalawama, I am Dr. Dryasapa from Zion Law School. See you guys same time, around the same time tomorrow for live stream number 78. Shalawama.